Good morning. If you're watching this as a rerun instead of the live program, you can skip ahead about 18 minutes. If not, I'm just going to BS until we get the show rolling here at 6 minutes after the hour. See what's going on in your world here this morning. Good morning, Waylon. I have not a whole lot going on today. I got to sort pears. Time to take some pears out of the calving pasture and get them out of here. Who would have thought that I would putting up 4 years worth of hay last year, and I'm down to 1 year of hay supply left. It's been a long damn winter. And your wife missed out in one of the best boxers and beer fundraising auctions that we've had. Definitely a record. It was freaking awesome. Ivermectin cheers to ya. Says here, morning, Eric. Says, I am not going to get roundworms, lungworms, grubs, sucking lice, and mange mites. That's pretty important in my world. And I'll tell you, since I've been doing that ivermectin once a week thing, you've been seeing it on YouTube for the most part. I have yet to have a tick. So I don't even know if ticks are out yet. I've been fencing a lot of places and I haven't seen any yet. Karen, good morning. Good morning. How do I get back to that? Okay. Let's see here. There it is. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I tried to shoot a coyote last night, but I am not that devoted in the dark. Yeah, I didn't do much thermal hunting, just a little here and a little there, and until I had such an issue with my calving situation. The first 2 weeks of calving was just terrible. And I found out that night hunting definitely is a little bit different, especially the aiming aspect of it. So what I did is I set up a 223 rifle with my thermal, and I zeroed it at 100 yards. Because in my mind, I was thinking, since I'm new to the thermal hunting situation, I was going to keep my range closer. And it works, but judging the distance in your thermal, and I know that they have a way that you can uh, tell the distance on things, but coyotes are a little bit different at night. I mean, it's not like they're just stopping there and staring at you. So I had a good training situation. I found out that the coyotes that I was shooting at were a lot closer than what I was aiming with my 223. Big Daddy Dave. You have me again this morning, Eric. Just in some Acme gear, and you won't have any more issue. I don't know how Acme kept in business because every piece of equipment that coyote purchased seemed to be faulty some way, shape, or form. Especially the catapult, one of my favorites. Hey, I better call my guest. Wayne, if you're listening, I'm calling you shortly. Be like the old school radio where they used to call people and be like, Dave, good morning. Hey, Dave, appreciate the CWD update from University of Minnesota. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you. I hope that's right. Did Jack at Barber's get a hold of you? He was trying to sell one of those beacons. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He left a voicemail. Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Scott. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. It's a sunshiny day down here in Spearfish. A little breeze out there.
Spearfish.
Yeah, nice.
Mix of clouds and sun up this way. It's gonna be windy today. I gotta move pairs. I did a terrible job of legging up my horses this spring. So guess what? Today's gonna be legging up horses. They're gonna have to deal with it today. So
Get them out there, get them some exercise, huh?
yeah. Yeah, I've been doing a little patience pole training with them here lately because they spent most of the winter all buddied up, and boy, they don't want to be 10 feet away from each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have problems catching them? Are they easy to catch?
Mine are okay to catch. Mine are all right. And they're fine, but if you take off and they see the other horse not coming with, you got to put some iron to them to get them to listen to you.
Yeah.
But once you're like, if you load them up in a trailer and you drive away, they're fine.
Sure.
But
sure.
Sometimes they get a little. Good. That's just how they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been riding a few horses, taking my granddaughters out and playing around with that. My brother-in-law has a new foal. We took her out to see the new foal last week and fell in love with that thing. It's so nice, little gentle registered quarter horse. And yeah, my granddaughters love horses, I tell you.
Yeah, good. Well, I was told by a friend of mine, says, if your daughters are into horses, right, everybody gives them a hard time, like, oh, that's going to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, either they're into horses or I'm going to have to hire a lawyer. And horses are cheaper than lawyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a good time.
How was the birthday last night?
It was good. It was my son's 30th, Jared's 33rd birthday. He's our oldest. And his father-in-law, Brian Romo. Well, it was a great party. They had it at the Sunshine Saloon, which is, have you ever been there down here at Spearfish, that Sunshine Saloon?
I have not, no.
You got to try. You'd love it, Scott. You'd absolutely love it. It is in an industrial area. This guy is a solid red Republican. He's got mounts all over. He's got, they're just a great couple that run it. It's in an industrial area, kind of northwest of like Crow Peak out in that area. And it's redone a little shop back there, and it's very Western. They had a stage there. They have a stage there. They had a band there last night. The Wilkes Brothers out of Rapid City played. They've been around for like 20 years, little 90s country and fiddle and steel guitar. And it was really fun. It was a very good time.
It's really cool. Yeah. No, I have not hung out in the Spearfish area very much. Not much at all.
If you'd have been down here this weekend, we could have taken you out there. So
Dixie went down this weekend, and she had a acupuncture appointment down in Rapid, and she's like so close to finishing the next level of education for, like, she keeps going after these degrees, right?
Yep.
And she's so close to getting this next step, and she's like, you know what? I need to study, because she knew I was going to be sorting pairs this weekend, and she's like, you know what? If I'm home, I'm going to be out there trying to help you, and I don't have time to study. I'm like, that's not a problem, right? Go down and have fun. But I'm telling you, right after the month of May branding and all the brandings that are coming up. Oh, June 2nd, by the way, you got me on your list?
Yes, okay. I do. Yep. Yeah, Levi and I are coming down. He said he's got, I don't know, 2 or 3 horses that we'll bring down. Okay. So we will be there. You bet.
I got a message that says, it's a good day for silhouette shooting. Mayor Cox out of Mobridge is going shooting today. And then you got to check out the Steerfish restaurant in Spearfish.
Oh yeah, the steerfish. Steerfish, yeah. We have eaten there. Yeah, it's very good.
Now,
very good. Yeah,
maybe I have. So my wife took me to a place. It was like one of those old buildings with the high ceilings.
Yeah,
I think it was the Steerfish. I think it was.
It sounds right. Could be that place.
I think I did eat there. It was good. You know what the hard thing about restaurant wise? Stations will do a time check here. 70000 coming up here in a few seconds here. Again, 80000 if you're Central Time, and that is on mark. So the food industry trying to find enough help.
Yeah.
Any industry trying to find enough help, but it seems like the food industry, you can see it more that they're lacking, And I wouldn't want to be in charge of a restaurant at all in any way, shape, or form.
It seems like the family-oriented restaurants really do well, and a couple that I can mention are like the restaurants in Bismarck, the Chars and Tequila and La Coretta's Mexican restaurants. They are very well staffed, a lot of family, it seems like there, and service is excellent.
Okay, so this is different. When you're talking like true Mexican restaurants that have Mexicans there, and Chinese restaurants that have their family and Chinese there, they work. All right,
yeah,
I get that. You have them, but I'm talking like my favorite. If we're talking in North Dakota, the favorite place that I've growing up as a kid was a treat to go to was Ohm's Cafe in Mandan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
My favorite place in Brookings, South Dakota was Cubby's Bar and Grill. And Cubby's. It was a big sports. I mean, it was the owners were just good people, but some of the best food that you'll ever eat.
Yep. When we were in high school, my buddy Nick and I, we used to go on Friday nights, get to town with our pickup, and we'd stop at Ohm's, and they had these special burgers. There was 20 special burgers for like $10. So we'd buy 20 burgers, and we'd go get a bottle of ketchup from the grocery store.
Oh,
that was our dinner before we went. But that place is up for sale. Ohm's is up for sale.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How about the Stage Stop? They used to have you could get like sliders or Wimpy Burgers or something it was called.
Yep.
Yeah.
They still have them, Wimpy Burgers. They remodeled that whole place. They have upstairs for meetings and such.
Really? Good for
meeting
them.
rooms up there. Yeah, it's really nice. They did a good job. Yep.
Jamie says, hey, the warden gave us a pretty good service at JL Beers the other day. That's right. So we after the gun auction in Bismarck here a few weeks back, Jamie Brecht and Jesse and my wife and I went to JL Beers, and the waiter was the warden at the state prison.
Oh, really?
So that shows how good they pay at the state prison, evidently. And but he did give pretty good service out there. He did actually.
Yeah, that's cool. We haven't been there for a while. I'll have to hit that up again. Not the prison.
Gene Cox says Taco John's isn't real Mexican food. That's true. You know what I wish? I remember back in the day when, as people say, there was a place in Dickinson called the German Hungarian Club. And traditional German food, man, it was so good, and I miss that place too.
Was that on the south side?
Yes,
it was. Okay, remember seeing that there. We never stopped there, but we'd be up there for baseball and sports and such with my son. So I always saw it, but never stopped.
Eric
I'm
says,
Hungarian. I'm partial Hungarian, so maybe I should have gone.
Eric says Pierre used to have a restaurant downtown called the Stables. It was pretty good before it burnt down.
Yeah.
The same thing like in Rame, the Hunter's Table and Tavern in Rame.
Yeah.
That was a unique, cool little place before that burned down too.
Yeah, we had talked about that. We always stopped in there when we went down antelope hunting in that area. It was a nice little place.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere, really.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm getting the itch to start a new business there, Wayne.
And what is that?
I've had a few offers of jumping in on businesses with other people, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how that goes.
Oh,
Right now, there's
yeah.
a television side of things that people want me to do,
Oh, really?
and I
You
have the face for radio.
you'd be good at it.
I
You'd be
don't know
good at it.
about
You look
that.
at who's out there on television nowadays, and you'd be much better than most of them. I tell
I
you,
don't know
you'd
about
be good.
that. All right, station's a little over 60 seconds to showtime. So Airbnb for hunting, we're going to start out with there, Mr. Muth.
Okay, all right.
Because
Got a little information on it. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
saw this I saw an article a couple of years ago, and a gentleman that was listening to the show when Jesse was on sent information about also some Airbnb hunting access type stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I wonder if it's not kind of the same thing. And instead of going on the plots program, they're like, we don't want to do the plots thing because we want to know who's on our property. So
Yeah.
this new thing came out here, and I know that was around for a while, hunting leases, and there's
Right.
all kinds of companies helping out and doing that.
Yeah, this is different than this company is different than a actual hunting lease company.
Okay.
But
Okay. Well, hold on.
we'll talk about it. Yeah.
We're 20 seconds away. All right, stand by here. We're gonna go quiet here. Stations, 15 seconds to showtime. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors, heard live and local across the Dakota Territory. Well, that's what we call neighbors, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 statewide. I think so. You can hear it on KGFX in Pierce, South Dakota, KOLY in Mobridge, KFYR in Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and in the Western Edge, KLTC, and along with everybody on the YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting my YouTube channel called Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Thank you very much. My guest today is Mr. Wayne Muth. How are you, sir?
I am well, Scott. Thank you for having me.
So you're in the Black Hills of South Dakota right now.
Yep.
And
we are. My
it's
wife
funny
and her
because
down. Yep.
this morning I get an email from South Dakota Black Hills Tourism. Out of nowhere. And they have many events coming up here. They have the Shrine Circus May 5th through 7th in Rapid City. Mother's Day special at the 1880 train in Hill City, May 14th. Black Hills Sound of Silence Tesla Rally out of Custer, May 19th through 21. And back when they bucked an all-day rodeo, Deadwood, May 28th. And it's kind of, I have not gotten one of these emails from them before. And
kind of ironic.
It's kind of funny. We were talking about it, and then I get an email about it. So they're listening, Wayne. They're listening.
They are. They are. There's a lot of good things to do down here. We just love coming down here and going to Deadwood this time of year because there's less people. Ran into a radiology convention down in at Cadillac Jack's in Deadwood, and talked to some of the people I know down there. And so it's fun. It's just nice time of year to get out.
What do radiologists talk about when they get together?
Well, these are radiologic technologists, and I was actually recruiting some techs. So looking for some techs to work. So
okay,
talk to a lot of students go to this convention and talk to them, and there's some great opportunities for them if they want it. So if anybody's interested out there, contact me.
There you go. You bet. You never know who's listening, right? I mean,
you bet.
You can get that. We have a lot of things that we can discuss here today. First thing we're going to discuss is let's discuss Airbnb hunting. And, because we got a few things to talk about here because, I think you and I discussed this. Is hunting becoming a sport where it's for the rich people only? And then you look at it going, well, not necessarily, because there's plenty of public hunting land. Yeah. And then on the other side, there's a lot of people that don't want to put the time and effort into it. And then you have the people that live and die for going out in public hunting, right?
Right.
But for the landowners, sometimes they want an option. I have two neighbors of mine that don't do any hunting.
Mm-hmm.
at all. But they want people to come in and hunt. But they also think, well, it'd be nice to have some salt and minerals, some cost share coming back here at the ranch.
Sure,
So,
sure.
I understand that the plots program, or a private land open to sportsmen, South Dakota calls it walk-in land. There is funding coming in from that. I get that, but you don't have control of who comes in and out of that place,
Right.
and it can be a little bit messy. And I've witnessed that with my neighbor putting his into plots, and he's living in Montana. It's like a traffic jam during deer season out here.
Yeah, it gets that way. There's, for instance, North Dakota, what are we, 96% private?
Yeah.
So, and then with the inundation of all the hunters coming up during the COVID years, and boy, I tell you what, everybody was out there looking for places, and public land, people don't want to sometimes even ask, so they're heading out to the public. For the private, they were heading out to the public. So, that gets inundated. It's overcrowded. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
I think the quality of deer in some of those areas are going down as well. So this is something that I came across. Some of this is more of an Airbnb. You contract with this company, and they will let you decide when you want to open things up. And I think that's what the ranchers sometimes want, is the ability to control things, like you said, which days or what they will be doing on it, or where you can go. And so it's a really an option, I think, that's out there, that's coming around. It's getting more prevalent. Yeah.
Isn't it something, how technology is changing hunting? You look at it, you can go on your phone. You can go to I don't know, what's the website for this Airbnb hunting access called? I don't even know what that is.
There's a couple out there.
Okay.
The one I talked to was Land Trust. It's out of Bozeman.
Yep, that's the one that I was looking at too. Yeah.
Yeah. And it increases the hunting opportunity for most. And if you think about it, now if we get some of the people that are going out to public lands and researching this and saying, hey, you know what, I can afford to pay that fee for, the first week of deer season or the first weekend of deer season, I'll do that. Now it's taking some of the pressure off the public land, going to that private. Yeah. So, and then you're helping out the ranchers. They're getting some benefits to it. They set the price on what they want to charge. You support those farmers and ranchers. And then the turnaround is hopefully that these farmers and ranchers will do more habitat management and get it better, because the better theirs is, the more they can get for access. So
do you think this is a good route for the hunting industry in some form to go to? What's your personal opinion on it?
I think it's good for the ranchers. For the hunters, it gets to be a little bit of a pay hunting thing, which, some just can't afford it, but then others, they've got, $4,000 worth of equipment before they step out their door and no place to hunt. So those that can afford it will use it, I think. And the others will still knock on doors and talk to farmers and ranchers. And I hope that if this happens in our state and it starts to roll around or something, that opportunity to knock on doors and just build a relationship and be able to just help out those ranchers doesn't go away, because that's worth more to me than I think sometimes the dollar amounts going across the table.
Do you think it's going to be regulated by the Game and Fish departments state by state eventually on, kind of like what outfitting was done?
I don't know. I don't think they could do that. I think this is an access piece. Whether you're letting them on for bird hunting or you're letting them shed hunt. I mean, I know that guys have paid $20 a day to go shed hunting and had 5,000 acres to himself out in Montana. So, that's an access piece I think it couldn't be controlled, I don't think, by the Game and Fish Department.
You say that, but they're controlling what we can put out for attracting for deer right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
This is the thing. It comes to private property rights, and when it comes to that, I'm a big firm believer in standing up for those private property rights. But you can see that. Are they going to be affected by maybe somebody flying over them, doing a so-called "quote unquote" survey? Yeah,
that's true. That's a tough answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we talked about the control the Game and Fish Department. They had the advisory board meetings this week too, so we can,
Yeah, we'll
you know,
talk about
enlighten.
that on the other side of
Yeah,
the break. Yeah.
yeah.
I got
So
a message says coming out of South Dakota says the whole world is going to be regulated by the Game and Fish pretty soon.
yeah, well, you know, we do need some limits.
Absolutely. There needs
You
to
know?
be some rules and regulations. There's no doubt
Yes,
about
there
that.
do. You
And
bet.
we'll stay with this here. We're up against our first break. Wayne, stay with me here. Wayne Muth is my guest. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. This is Dakota Prairie Outdoors. The phone lines are always open if you want to call in, 888-932-5682. It is a live program, so your phone, when you call in, it's automatically put on hold. We'll get to your comments as soon as we can get to them. So you can also text me, 701-425-6651. We'll be back on the other side of this break on Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Weber online-only equipment auction in Canada, North Dakota on Thursday, May 4th. And on Friday, May 5th, the Eastern Montana Regional Equipment Auction out of Ekalaka, Montana. Tuesday, May 9th, the Blana Farm Retirement Equipment Auction in Kensal, North Dakota. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Weber online-only equipment auction in Canada, North Dakota on Thursday, May 4th. And on Friday, May 5th, the Eastern Montana Regional Equipment Auction out of Ekalaka, Montana. Tuesday, May 9th, the Blana Farm Retirement Equipment Auction in Kensal, North Dakota. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition all across the Dakota Territory. Good to have you along and around the world on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Thank you for tuning in and having a little fun on a Saturday with us. Wayne Muth is my guest. He is reporting out of the Spearfish, South Dakota area this morning. Now, did you know that South Dakota mountain lion season closes tomorrow, Wayne?
Does it?
It does.
Ah.
Now, they had a limit of 60 total lions or 40 females. Right now, they're at 28 females and 16 males, a total of 44. And so it's closing tomorrow. And that's a lot of cats.
I was just going to say, that is a lot of cats. My goodness.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The Black Hills doesn't seem like it would hold that much, but there's some rugged stuff in there and good habitat for those cats, boy.
Absolutely. Now, before the break, we were talking about like Airbnb for hunting, and one of the websites that you said that we can go to is Land Trust, landtrust.com. We were searching through that. I was looking through that during the break, and then I got a text message that says you should also let people know about another website called Sharing the Land. It's a conservation cooperative network. Connecting landowners with hunters and private land access seekers as well. So there's plenty of these organizations out there, I guess, a guy can go to.
Yeah. And I think it's giving some options to the landowners besides going through the game and fish departments. And the game and fish departments, their mission is to keep animals on the landscape and keep the numbers where they're supposed to be and manage them. But sometimes that, is contradictory to what the landowners want. Gives them some options here.
And it changes so much. You can't just like if everything's broken into units, and my unit is it's a substantial large area, and maybe one area has more deer than 10 miles away.
Yeah.
That's
right.
And it's hard to do that. I don't see it as a bad thing that the landowners want to have options. I don't think that's a bad thing. No,
it's not. And as long as the landowners are still open to accept door knockers and people that want to come and give them a hand, help them out, and give them access to hunting, I think is really important too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So just a note that you can find all of this stuff here at landtrust.com or Sharing the Land. You can search any of this stuff, and I'm going to try to get the guy from Nick from Land Trust on and kind of get a little bit more inside information on that. Maybe you can try to get that next week, but it'd be a lot of fun to get the inside scoop on some of this stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
sure, it would be.
So the rumor has it, Wayne, that there was an advisory meeting for the Game and Fish on the North Dakota side up in Velva area that got a little heated. And somebody texted me this, and I'm like, I tried to get the local representative for that district, the state representative legislator up there, and it was too late, and he was in committee meetings and all that kind of stuff. But what happened? What's going on?
I did watch it live stream, and there was some contentious discussions there. I think the landowners and the hunters up there were upset with the Game and Fish Department getting the ruling that they still have control over baiting throughout the state. And that was a primary piece of it. And I think they just vented and which is fine. I mean, the advisory board meetings, at least the Game and Fish Department knows what a lot of people's stances are. Some of the pieces, I think, and I talked to at the advisory board meeting in Bismarck. I talked to Charlie Bonson afterwards, and I think, and I told him, I said, and it was very civil at the Bismarck meeting. It was very good, but I talked to him. I think the clarity of what the Game and Fish Department was bringing wasn't there, and the biggest piece I think that most hunters say is that CWD, show us where this is declining our herd. Show us the dead deer on the landscape. Prove it that the reproduction is not there. And that's the biggest piece I think that people haven't gotten clear, and until they do, they'll always have that fight back, saying, what's the science really behind it? And of course, you don't want to get it inundated in your herds, and maybe we need to do something for it, but I don't think killing all the deer and just doing a study like Idaho did is the answer. I don't know if you're familiar with that. But about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so, Idaho did a depredation hunt, and they shot 450 deer just because it was in the CWD area to test the positivity rate, and they found 24 deer that were positive. That's 5%. So that's a good way to decrease your herd sizes, to shoot 450 deer in a unit. So where's the decline coming from? That was my question. I think it's not made clear by the Game and Fish Department.
Interesting. So a listener, Dave from Minnesota, got a letter from him, snail mailed actually. It showed up in the post office box here, and it's from the University of Minnesota. He's a listener over on the Minnesota side, and the University of Minnesota is actually going out on their own and researching and testing CWD and figuring out maybe there is a different opportunity or a different option instead of just going out and killing herds or telling landowners what they can and can't do because they feel that that's what's supposed to. Are we going to be seeing more of these studies? And why aren't these studies looked upon by other areas, maybe, that says, we maybe shooting the deer or limiting the baiting? And, you talk about baiting. I just read on the North Dakota side here that there is an article about depredation, especially in the eastern third of the state. There was a lot of deer coming into the farmers' feed sources, and they say, well, we have options of putting hay fences around this or panels or whatever you want to do. I mean, what's a little pile of corn over here, a 50-gallon pile of corn, compared to a silage pile? And the deer are going to get together in the wintertime no matter what it is, right? I mean, how come?
Exactly.
I'm looking at it from a different side of things, but how come, is that going to be part of their limiting what we can put for a haystack now too?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's always brought up in these meetings. We hear of people having 400 or 500 deer in their hay yards and in their fields just congregating, and then the question of supplemental feeding was brought up. Well, I think maybe that's where the landowners need some instructions from the Game and Fish Department if there's something that's detrimental to their nutritional needs at certain times of the year, to get some direction, but not poo-poo it, I guess.
Let me ask you this, Wayne. Is it my job to keep the deer out of my feed sources?
Well, I think as a landowner, you're going to do it.
Yep.
So you're going to protect what you have. So that should be one of your responsibilities. And with assistance from the Game and Fish Department, they can put up fences, but you may not have had this issue before. And putting up a fence with 5-foot snowdrifts doesn't work. So
so here's another thing. Okay, my insurance tells me I can only have so many ton of hay in a certain pile, and then the next stack has to be, I think it's 100 or 150 feet away from that stack.
Sure.
How big you should see the hay yard I would have needed this winter.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, how much?
Right.
What size of a hay yard are they going to allow me to have? And I know that they allow materials and everything, but what is a hay yard size from one person to the next. I mean, some of these places have pretty good size.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's a tough piece. I mean, how do you protect yourself and not spend a bunch of money doing it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough. And you mentioned the University of Minnesota. It was trying to do their
Yes.
own studies.
Yep.
The monies that are put forward by the federal government, the $70 million, I believe it's on a grant basis where they can apply for grants, and this is what we've been hoping for a long time. Is having these outside entities such as the universities do different
Yes,
studies.
absolutely.
Can they do things? And I think maybe now it's going to get pushed to that. And North Dakota Game and Fish Department, I think, had a chance to step forward and do something like this early on, and they had the push from the public to do things like this. And maybe they still will, and start working on different avenues for the CWD piece.
Well, we're going to continue this talk on the other side of the break. We'll have more Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition after these messages. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Weber online-only equipment auction in Cando, North Dakota on Thursday, May 4th. And on Friday, May 5th, the Eastern Montana Regional Equipment Auction out of Ekalaka, Montana. Tuesday, May 9th, the Blana Farm Retirement Equipment Auction in Kensal, North Dakota. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the Weber online-only equipment auction in Cando, North Dakota on Thursday, May 4th. And on Friday, May 5th, the Eastern Montana Regional Equipment Auction out of Ekalaka, Montana. Tuesday, May 9th, the Blana Farm Retirement Equipment Auction in Kensal, North Dakota. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W. 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here. Don't forget about the Lee Angus Bull Sale. That's right. Raymond, Chris, Sterling, and Sierra having their sale Tuesday, May 9th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at the Bowman Auction Market. 50 Angus bulls. Sit Stellar. We got Resilient and Coalition and all kinds of these bulls. Here's the thing about it. Now, Wayne Muth is my guest here, but when we're talking bull sales, I was at one yesterday, and I was talking to Raymond about these bulls, and I was asking folks, how are bulls testing this year? Because a lot of people are starting to test right now, and they're finding. I talked to Doc Kruger. He says that the bulls are not checking out because of such a long, cold winter that we had. There's a higher percentage of them not passing their testing. So if you're looking for bulls, don't worry. Don't think that your bulls are going to be good this year. So might as well get to a couple of these bull sales. Lee Angus Bull Sale Tuesday, May 9th, Bowman Auction Market, Bowman, North Dakota. Good family right there. So yeah. So that's what's going on.
Yep, a big investment not to have the bull working for you. That's for sure.
Well, yeah. It's like if you want to start a family, but if you're no good at doing it, can't really get it done, right?
That's right.
Got a question coming in. Eric says, how tall would a fence have to be to keep deer out? What is the regulated height to keep a deer from jumping in?
I think it's like an 8-foot fence, but I saw a buck once north of Mandan on the refinery fence. He was running down the refinery fence and it had the barbed wire angled off the top.
Yeah.
And that's an 8-foot fence with the barbed wire addition on top. And he cleared it. And I couldn't believe it. He was running down the road ditch and he flew over the top of that.
That's crazy.
So,
yeah.
If they're pushed, they're going to go pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're just coming in at night or something like that, they probably won't be spooked enough to jump up that quite high. But
yeah,
I know the one hay yard that we have here that was put up years, probably in the 70s, 80s. That thing is probably 12 feet tall.
Sure.
And
that'd be about right.
So 2 6-foot sections of that deer fence, but that's just one little tiny yard. So, but yeah. All right. What else can we discuss here this morning? So spring turkey season have you gotten any turkeys down?
I have not been out yet. I've been seeing them, and then we had some wet weather, and I was out of town, and so this coming weekend, I hope to get there.
I found my turkeys in my calving pasture the other day. The first time I seen them, the whole probably 3 years now, and I finally found those turkeys. The only thing I had was my 6.5 Creed, not really turkey material. So I had to. I tried to go back home and grab my bow and head back out and find them. And those turkeys are sneaky, but I tell you what, they can hide quickly.
Yeah. I got to get out early in the morning and throw a decoy up and sit in the blind or sit behind the tree or something. Yeah. They're fun to call.
They are
kind of like the poor man's elk, you think about it.
Speaking of which, elk are now shedding. They're dropping their antlers. They just started here in about the last 7 days.
Really?
And which is a lot later than usual, but I still have a couple small mule deer that have theirs, but I think the elk, they're getting it's late. And the ones that I've been finding, I've been leveling some hay fields, and the ones I've been finding have, it's fresh red blood on those sheds.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah. Yeah, I'm working on kind of a presentation for our raised at full draw for antler formation and from start to finish. So
Yeah.
I got a lot of good photos on that, some abnormalities and things like that as well. So usually the deer should be shed by the end of this month.
They should.
Normally,
yeah. I mean, they're
that's
going
what
to start
they should
growing
be.
the new ones and getting them. They're going to have to, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. That photosynthesis or photo period that's going to start is going to make them want to grow antlers again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Elk grow about an inch a day. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's about true.
That's crazy.
It's amazing how fast they grow. There's a lot of horn there that has to grow. You got to think you get a 300-inch elk. That's a lot of horn. My goodness. And it grows from the outside in. The outside in piece. And animals actually, deer and elk, they actually go through a osteoporotic state, meaning that they need so much nutrition and the phosphorus to build the antlers. They have to take it from other bones in their body, like from the ribs and non-weight bearing bones, so that they actually go into osteoporotic state to grow their antlers. And as the summer progresses on, they build that bone back up within their bodies.
Really?
One of the rare things that deer do. Yep.
That's crazy.
Really interesting.
Question comes in, says, when do the antelope have their kids?
I'm not sure. That would be, I think, in June. Don't they start dropping in June?
I think so. Yep.
Beginning of June, similar to, well, it'd be a little earlier than that because their rut is in September. So,
but that's when you start seeing the landscape is right around that June area.
Probably June, yeah, probably end of May, mid-May or so. Yeah.
And it's so fun to see those little kids out there. They can run.
Yeah,
for their short little legs on those things, man. They can fly. It's crazy. Eric says, nobody would know that you use a 6.5 Creedmoor powered arrow if you didn't say anything. I'm not that guy. I want to take it with a bow and arrow. I do. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
I believe, and I'm not sure if the law still stands, but I believe in Montana you could use a high-powered rifle for turkeys, but I think they may have changed that in the last few years. I know when I lived out there, that's what you could use. So that was always, easy way to get a turkey.
Yeah. Could you imagine living in an area like Minnesota, where it's so heavily treed up that you have to use a shotgun slug to go deer hunting?
Yeah.
That would change the whole thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would. Yeah, then they have some of these slug units around cities, in the rural, in the urban areas. I've never had a slug in my gun. So.
No, I haven't either. I don't know what would it do to your barrel. I don't know if somebody told me one time when I was a kid, they said, if you use slugs, it ruins your barrels. Mm-hmm. And I never put one in there. So, all right. So coming up here, paddlefish snagging season starts in North Dakota May 1st. Have you ever done it? Have you ever been there?
Yes, we used to go on a regular basis when a number of years ago. We've caught fish. Judy's caught fish. I think the biggest we've caught, when I was up with my friends, we caught a 72 was the biggest, but that was up in the Confluence area. And lately we've been having the Northern Lights. We were up there fishing, and my friend bought a boat along, and you can't fish from a boat, of course, but we went out into the sandbar, and we were out there like until midnight, and the Northern Lights were just dancing across the sky. It was pretty neat. It was a lot of fun, and it's fun fishing. It's a lot of work sometimes, but it's fun. When you get logged into one, boy, everybody kind of helps and clears the shoreline and helps you land it.
Yeah.
So they're fun.
I've never had the opportunity. It's always during calving season and branding season for me. So I've never had the opportunity, but man, I want to try it. And South Dakota has their paddlefish season later in the year. They usually have it later on, but the early season. Now, if you need a tag, you got to get a tag to do that. Let's see.
Where do they fish them in South Dakota?
On the river.
Just right on the river. Yep. There's not particular areas. Okay.
Well, they probably do. Since I haven't done it in either state, I'm kind of out of the loop on that. I'm just something I've always wanted to do. Dave from Minnesota says north of Interstate 94 in Minnesota is all high power for deer hunting, so you can use that. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. For North Dakota paddlefish licenses, check your regulation because I believe you have to buy those online or
Yes.
at the Game and Fish Department this year.
Yes. Now, I was not in the running for moose or elk this year, but I've been getting a lot of phone calls and people already starting, and that's a nice thing that they had the draw on that early, so folks can make those relationships early on, and a few
that's
people
good.
coming out and doing that here.
Yeah, those tags have been out, and once again, since it's began, I still will go untagged for moose or elk. So.
Yeah. Oh, I got a message that says below Gavin's Point Dam by Yankton is where they do the paddlefish season.
Okay,
that way.
Good.
Daryl Lee says they're in the water, Scott. That's where you go do it. Thanks, Daryl.
Yep.
Let's see. Other than that, both states their websites are very easy to get around. And, the big thing for South Dakota, the mountain lion season closes tomorrow. Other than that, I mean, there's a lot of hunting coming up. People are getting ready for this. And for those folks that enjoy just going out and hiking and biking and enjoying the outdoors, it seems they're chomping at the bit to do this, Wayne.
Yeah. It's been a long winter. We've had a lot of snow, and it's kind of worn on everybody. So everybody's itching to get out there. And we saw boats on the river as soon as every ice chunk was off, and it was cold out, but there were boats on the river.
Yeah. You see a lot of folks, I know the Black Hills of South Dakota. There's a lot of people, they have the Mickelson Trail. Folks down there, I mean, it is a biking, hiking community, and everybody that comes in tourist-wise, that's what they want to do sometimes. North Dakota has the Mattahay Trail up this way, and they've been doing some kind of revamping on the trail in certain areas, haven't they? I don't know if you heard about that or not, but now there's people volunteering to do this.
Are they widening the trail in certain areas?
Yeah, in certain places they're widening it. Certain places they're actually putting some surface down on it here to make it so you can see a rattlesnake a little easier. And,
sure. Yeah. We've been on the Mickelson Trail. My wife and I have biked it. We biked it out of Deadwood, but it goes uphill for a long way.
Yes, it does.
So, that's you gotta work at it. Electric bikes would have been great at that time. So.
Okay. South Dakota paddlefish month of May below Big Bend Dam, October by Yankton, so May by Big Bend and October by Yankton. So they got different areas that they do it down that way.
Oh, okay.
Now, something that we should get together and do. I don't know. Can non-residents do that in South Dakota? I should look in it. Let me know. I mean, these guys that are texting me and let me know, can a non-resident do this? So that's the time I could actually get away and do it is October.
Yeah. Sure.
And they're showing photos here. And if you're on the YouTube side here, watching here, this is a photo that was sent to me. Nice paddlefish here. It's just a prehistoric looking things, aren't they, Wayne?
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah. And when you clean them, you cut them off right at the head and about halfway down the side, and you take the meat slab off the back, which would be like a back strap. And the tail, you cut around the tail down to what would be the spinal column, but you don't cut all the way through. And you just kind of twist and break the rest of the bone. You pull the whole spinal column, which looks like a spongy round foam piece comes straight out of there. You cut steaks, you trim the red meat off the outside, and you've got a great steak. Yeah. They're really good.
Never had. I know that in the North Dakota side, I got a message, non-residents can't paddlefish snake down in South Dakota. So got to be resident now. Caviar, right? Mm-hmm. North Star Caviar in Williston used to clean your fish for free, and they got to keep the caviar.
Right.
Have you tried that?
I think I've had caviar once or twice, but it's nothing that I need to eat again. I'm not a big fan. No, just fish eggs. Yeah. I don't know if they're up there anymore though. I think last year may have been their last year. I'm not sure. It's always convenient to have that and dispose of your fish and all that. So
absolutely. And
Yeah, but
in
that's
certain
good.
areas it's catch and release on certain days, and some days you got to
Yep.
keep what you catch and all that. So you got to be into that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm looking forward here. Shed hunting season
Hmm.
is something I really do look forward to. And not
Yeah.
as many deer sheds in this country because of the lack of deer that we had last year.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that out there. I know that's what Levi had talked about after we do branding. He wants to go out the next day and ride some of your pastures and look for some sheds. So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we can.
do that.
I got a few places. I'm going to see how good a shape his horses are in. Is what I'm going to say.
Okay. Right.
Probably in better shape
We'll
than
see.
mine are right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I've been so busy on the calving side of things here and getting things fencing. Holy moly! There's the thing. If you want to help landowner relationships, offer to go out and help do some fencing.
Oh, sure. There's going to
Man,
be a lot of that this year.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of fence down.
So, when we went to Watford City a few weeks back, we noticed that there was a lot less snow on that northeastern or northwestern side of the state and on the west side of 85. That stands true down kind of in your area too. It looks like there's a lot less snow.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
than
less
some of that.
snow, but we had like in January, there were the western
Mhm.
side of North and South Dakota had a lot warmer temperatures than the eastern side did. So we had
Sure.
a lot
Yeah.
of meltdown in January to the point where
Right.
there was a lot of bare ground before we got more snow in February and March.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that is the biggest thing is, the temperature changes from the West River to East River is so drastic. And
Yes, it
folks
does.
don't realize that. It can be up to 20 degrees warmer on the western side of the state just because, where you're at and where that jet stream is coming in from.
Yep. And it's really interesting too, because on the eastern part of the state, the die-off of a lot of the deer were much greater. If you recall that back in February when we talked to Casey Anderson, the game and fish manager, he had mentioned that their first fly wasn't too bad. And the numbers came back to, in one of the units north of Bismarck, the number was down like 6% from last year. They reflew it again just before Easter, and they found there was a 51% decrease.
Wow.
In that same area, and that was after some storms. So these deer will die up and through June, Casey said, because if they're starved out so low of weight and such, it's hard for them to even regain that, and they'll even though the grass will be there, they'll still not survive. So it'll be interesting where our tags go this year. They're going to be quite some declines, I think, in numbers.
And rightfully so. They should be declined a little bit because if you're going to get that population back up, it's got to have a chance to get out there and do that. There's no doubt about that. Well, as we get toward the last couple minutes of the radio program here, we talked landtrust.com, the cooperative here, Air BnB Hunting. Is there anything else going on to your next? What's your first hunt going to be besides turkey?
Get down some antelope hunts. Try to do that. I got hopefully get some tags in Montana. Looking at some other stuff in some other states. Have some land access that I've acquired in a state down in Nebraska. So
Nice.
We'll see how that turns out. Yeah.
Like any elk hunts in the Wyoming side of things or not?
Not for me. Not this year. No. Trying to build some points up for Colorado again and get back down there and get into a little better area than we were last year, or a better season maybe. We'll have to see how that rolls out.
Yeah.
And Nevada, I have a friend in Nevada that I'd like to get out there and do some deer hunting with him out there. They've got some great mule deer out there, but hard to get drawn for tags like anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's you got to travel anymore if you guys want. I have elk in my backyard, but I can't hunt any of them, so I got to go out of state in order to do it.
Sure. Well, and you look at now with the decreased number of permits that are going to be given out, the point creep is going to get even worse than it is right now. And so it's going to take you years longer than it would in the past to get drawn. So it's too bad that way, but we got to keep our animals on the landscape too.
Gotta have it, man. And you said that there were some record deer. You got about 60 seconds to talk about that.
Oh, sure. Too. Yeah, the Pope and Young convention just finished down in Reno, and they crowned 13 new world records. And I don't have a list of them, but it just goes to show that how efficient and how a good tool is that archery is for hunting. And having these seasons that you get these extra tags is really nice too. So let's make sure that we can keep our 2-tag system, even though they cut back on the tags. It'd be really beneficial for us, because if we lose it, we won't get it back.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That is for sure. Yeah, and it sounds selfish, but I love having that 2-tag system. Archery, and be able to get, and even for me, like the gratis tag. I mean, that is nice to have it. And a lot of folks say, "Well, you're always getting guaranteed." Well, you're not guaranteed a deer just because you have a tag. So.
Yep, exactly.
Well, Wayne, I appreciate your time and your efforts here recording from the Black Hills for me, and we'll see you here in a few weeks at the beginning of June.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll keep in touch. That's for sure.
All right.
Appreciate coming on.
You bet. Thank you so much. Hang tight. We'll do a little after show here in a little bit here. If you want more information on Dakota Prairie Outdoors, my website is under construction as we're going to rebuild it and do a little different there and do some different podcast style. So keep it there, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Eat some meat, drink some milk. Have a good day. All right, Wayno.
Done. Hey. So what's the rest of your day look like?
I'm going to go feed cows real quick. I have a couple of buddies coming in this afternoon. We're going to sort pairs, and I got to take 90 pair down to my lease place. And I don't think we're going to get her all done. Hopefully we can today, but I'm going to try to feed early so they won't just be on hay and not buddied up with their calf here. So I got to put some feed in for my replacements. I got to go do some groundwork on a couple horses and train a puppy and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. You got all kinds of things going on. Yeah. So, remember we talked a few weeks back that I was going to go look at these thoroughbreds, these race horses.
Yep.
So my Judy and I and my sister-in-law and her husband, and of course, Lucy, my granddaughter, heard we were going. So she called, "Grandpa, can I come down and see the horses?" Sure. So we took her down there, and he had the horses there. So, and my friend Richard was not there. He was in town. His sons were there. And I said, "Okay, well, I've got my bridle here. Does that work?" I said, "You guys normally use a snaffle." They go, "Oh, you could just use yours." Well, I had a solid bit. And number one, bad mistake, wrong bit. Number two, we saddled up the horse that had only had a saddle on like 4 times in his life. And number three, these guys were retired 2 years ago and hadn't been ridden, and it was a cold and blustery day, kind of. So I took them out, and I tell you what, they were spunky, they were good. Would need some work reining, but I tell you what, that they can be a handful. My goodness,
no doubt. Thoroughbred, man, they're built for one thing.
And then, of course, being the idiot I am, I just opened it up across the pasture. Just opened it up, and just wanted to see how these things could run. It just was fun. But then, of course, they get all excited, and oh my God, I was so sore the next few days after that. And they would take a little bit of work. You have to put like 30 good days on them to get them to rein a little better and put the right bit in them and keep the saddle on them a little bit. But they would work, but until the end of the summer, I won't have time to work them. So we'll see how that goes. My granddaughter, she got on one of their horses out there, just a Welsh pony, and she's 5 years old. She was able to rein it herself and follow me around through the corrals. And we had to take her off it. She was just upset, mad. The frown on her face it was funny, but it was sad because she just absolutely loves that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, my neighbor had all those thoroughbreds. I helped feed them and take care of them that one summer. Man. These things, they're just a different animal altogether.
They are. Yeah. They had some good looking animals. That's for sure that these were, man, they're really nice. But
a damn ladder to get on them.
I know. My legs aren't that tall. I got to jump to reach the stirrup.
Where's the 5-gallon bucket here? I need to step on something here to get on there.
Yeah. And like you said, the one lady took her horseback 5 times before she got one. I could see why.
Oh yeah. They don't always get along with the certain people. You got to definitely have the right hand on them. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you got to remember, they were broke enough to ride, but the
Mhm.
riding was at full speed.
Yeah.
That's why they have somebody leading them around the racetrack,
Yeah.
at a slower pace until it's time, just to warm them up there, because it's like balls out, man. I mean,
Yeah. And these had been ridden. They rode them for going in hunting and things like that. But it had been a while, a
Yeah.
couple of years, and then he was fighting the saddle and such. So yeah, it was fun. It was just a good experience again, and yeah, always fun to get on those horses.
yeah. Well, all right. I'm gonna take
So,
off and get some things started here in my day and get ready for an afternoon of trying to sort pairs and wind.
yeah,
It's supposed to be
supposed to be
windier.
windy again.
Yeah, windier
Yeah.
kiss here today. So
Yeah. So, but anyway, you have a good day. Appreciate it.
Okay.
We're gonna go find the families here later on, hang out, and do a little shopping down here, and just have some fun.
Okay.
So,
all right, well, have a good one, man. We'll catch up with you later.
you bet. Thanks, Scott.
You bet.
Take
See ya.
care.
Bye.
Yep. Bye bye.
All right, YouTubers, thanks for sticking with me, man. Appreciate that. And if there's anything you want me to talk about here in the upcoming weeks, let me know. I'll see if I can't line them up. Have a good one.